Hey Doc, it's been 3 hours. Do intakes normally take this long? Honestly, it's pretty hard for me to talk about. I think I'm what you would call a superhero. I have superpowers, but I'm not really respected by society, and it's it's kind of taxing. And typically, we think of superheroes as really tough people, and they can really handle how they interact with everyone, but it's hard. As a superhero, I'm the only one out here, and I'm supposed to be special, and I feel like I'm kind of empty. I don't know if you're familiar with my powers, but um, one of them is that I cry chocolate sauce. It's exactly what it sounds like. I can control it though. So, for instance, like there was this runaway bus, and I saw it, and I was like, how do I stop it? So I cried really hard, bunch of chocolate, and it slowed it down, saved like 40 lives. Um, I shoot lasers out my butthole, which there's not really a good way to explain it outside of legitimate lasers come out of my butt. Um, and on one hand, it could be really cool. I could burn through metal, help weld, but unfortunately, it's like the intensity of a laser pointer. So there's really no good instance that I can use it in that society would really care. Um, I once pointed at an airplane that was lost in the sea, but it was only 2 feet of water. And the last thing, I'm not really sure it's even a superpower, but I'm very good at magic. Uh, I watched a couple films, some how tos, and I could pull a rabbit out of a hat, uh, and I could make things disappear. I could take off a bunch of chains, a stray jacket, uh, but it's not really a superpower. I'm like pretty. I think I'm like 99.9 percentile. So whether or not you want to call that a superhero feat or not, I think it's pretty special. It's kind of, at first, I work at Dick's to help people check out. And at first, like all my coworkers thought that, they have a superpower at their job, but when they realized I can only make the ice cream taste better and point at things, they really just give me shit, a bunch of shit. Uh, well, I didn't really know I had superpowers for a long time. Uh, my mom told me to keep it silent. When I was 14, I played football and I got hit extremely hard. And, I'm not one of those other superheroes that really strong, or what we think of superheroes. So it hurt. And I started to cry, and unfortunately, chocolate got everywhere. Uh, and when other kids saw it, they thought I shit myself. And no matter how much I explained it, they just they they wouldn't forget. So it was pretty traumatic. My social networks now, uh, people who do cosplay, they are probably the kindest people to me because they know that there are different types of superheroes in the universe and that there's a space for everyone. Uh, but to be honest, they're all nerds, and I don't really like to hang with them. Uh, I did go to college. I went to the University of South Rock. Um, it's near Kentucky. Uh, I was the mascot, so unfortunately, people didn't get to see me much. And then whenever I took off my head, people didn't recognize me. So I probably only left college with two friends, and one was my advisor, and the other one was some TA. Self care. What am I doing? I really enjoy making chocolate milk. I don't know if it's because I'm sad or if it tastes really good, but that's what I do in my free time. I've just gotten into oat milk. It's really good for the environment and doesn't taste bad. And the chocolate mix as well. And then I also like to do accuracy pointing. I'll show you. So, I'm sorry that you had to see that, but I enjoy doing some of that. Uh, I guess I like to walk. I sometimes go to other cities and do magic tricks in front of people. Um, you have no idea what it's like to be outside of a club and it's 2 in the morning and you have a whole bunch of blackout people come in to see you and they're like, "Yo, you're that superhero," and I'm like, "No, I'm not." And then I ask them to pick a card and I always guess it right, and they kind of forget that I am who I am. So those are some of the things I like to do. Boundaries. It's pretty easy to set boundaries when no one calls you. I see things on the news and I really want to help out, but unfortunately that's just where it ends. And the only people who really call me are those cosplay people. And my mom sometimes asks me to take out the garbage for her, but that's only once a week, so it's welcomed. Like I said, I don't really get calls, so it's usually in proximity. If something's like around the block, or if I hear police sirens, I'll catch an Uber or I'll ride my bike to the place, and usually the cops have already taken care of it. And when I get there, they kind of snicker. It's really embarrassing. When I don't intervene, it's tough on my soul because I was born with these powers. So I feel like it's my responsibility to help society in any way I can. And there aren't really opportunities for me to even use these skills. Like, I think if there's a bank robbery, I can do some magic tricks and distract some people, but how often are you involved in a bank robbery? It can't be that often. Standards. I think I meet my own standards. I want to help society. I have enthusiasm about it. Uh, it's hard to really do what it takes to be a superhero. Um, and unfortunately, I'm the only superhero around. Everyone else thinks of Batman, they think of Marvel, but those are just comic books. Like, obviously, Iron Man with his rockets and Spider-Man with his web, they could do a little more. But that's just make-believe. Like, some superheroes just happen to have lasers and chocolate and tricks. So I think things will be a lot easier if there were no comics for me. This one time I went to Antarctica thinking that they need help. They didn't. And whenever I travel abroad in other places, where I think they don't have comics. Nope, the internet exists. Everyone knows who Superman is. So I don't think I meet society standards. But is that even my job? I don't know. Why does it matter what other people think about me? I guess the answer is it doesn't matter, right? I know that's what you're going to tell me anyway, but when people laugh behind your back and they don't invite you to things, all because you call yourself a superhero, it's taxing. Who else do I compare myself to? I take melatonin, so I sleep pretty well. Um, but I do have dreams about saving people quite often. Would I like to do this again? Sure. I don't really get the opportunity to talk about myself. And despite your Snickers, it's good to have someone listen. I would. I'll see you next time.